Hey guys, it's Storm. Welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm doing it on a bit of a kind of a weird topic. We're going to be talking about Smite. It's a free to play MOBA. It's personally one of my favorite games. Very hard game to get into. Um, Takes a lot of time, hard learning curve, but it is available on all platforms: Xbox One, PS4, Switch, PC. And I'm just going to be talking about it today, making a tier list for it. Um, and by the way, shout out to my boy Daquita, aka Dak, aka I Love You. He pretty much recorded, edited, and uploaded this video for me, helped me out on my YouTube. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Yeah, clap. All right. So what's up, guys? First, doing a tier list. This tier list is for the Goddess of the Rivers patch or the emoji patch. This specific tier list does not have the emoji, but I'll let you know where I'll place her in this tier list. Basically, this is basically just made taken from all three major levels of the play in Smite. It's for conquest only. Conquest only. All three major levels of play: casuals, ranked, and competitive.
Dude, I was really
Um,
looking for a professional Smite
Professional
Joust tier
opinion.
list.
Professional. Yeah. Sorry if you were looking for a dual tier list or a siege tier list. I'm sorry. Um, but basically, the reason why I did that is because I'm not a pro player and I don't even play a lot of ranked. I'm a very much a casual conquest guy, but so that's why I wanted to pay attention to that lower end because I know most of you guys, if you're watching this, you're definitely a low. You're a casual player, maybe a mid level
1200
ranked
Evo.
player. Yeah, 1200. Yeah, conquest player, silver two ranked. Um, but I am going to pay a lot of attention to the top end of the game because that is what the game is balanced around. That's where Smite makes like all of its money, and that's where the game's balanced around is that top end ranked competitive SPL level play. And this is my opinion. At first, this is my opinion, but it is heavily based off of facts. Like I said, if you queue into if you pull up a random ranked game, a random SPL game, you're going to see what I'm saying is true, essentially. You know what I mean? And this is also backed by the opinions of people who are a lot better at Smite than I am, and you. Um, so definitely, I'm not going to say it's law. All of these picks where I placed them, most of these gods will have a second opinion where they could probably move up or down another tier, and I'll explain that when I talk about each individual god. So with that being said, let's get to it. First god is Achilles. We're gonna go stick him in A plus. Um, Reason being, Achilles just got a buff. It wasn't a major buff. It extended his auto attack range back to where it used to be, 16 units instead of 12. It's not a major buff, but I certainly think Achilles, he has a lot of flexibility, solo lane and in jungle, maybe even a spicy support pick, especially with this very aggressive invade kind of support meta. Achilles can be flexed a little bit. He's got good lane pressure. Does a lot of damage for a warrior coming out of the jungle, even coming out of the solo lane. Towards your lower end, Achilles can very hard carry because I've seen so many solo laners, they do not know how to lane against Achilles. They let Achilles just hit them, heal all of the damage off they've done to him, and they don't dodge his execute, so he just gets free kills. So towards that higher end play, I've seen Achilles a decent amount. Still a very good pick. I like him in A plus. You could argue maybe A. He's not as good as he used to be, but I'll find him A plus. Next up, Agni. A. We're gonna stick him right in A. That's kind of where Agni stays a lot of times. Very weak early game. Before level 5, he kind of struggles to do a lot of things, hard for him to clear wave. You're seeing a lot of mages in the duo lane in the ADC, and Agni can't do that. He can't dash wave. He can't clear against a lot of these high pressure mages you're seeing over there. So he has to play in mid, and you're not playing in mid against high pressure hunters that are in mid. Anhurs, Apollos are just going to eat you up. So he's very rough in the early game. Once he hits level 5, though, he's able to use that ult to his advantage. good in team fights. If you're a really good Agni player, he's still a good pick once you get past level 5. A lot of damage, a lot of control, but he doesn't excel at anything early. So you're not going to see him. Um, anyways, so next up is Amuzin AMC, the B man. Uh, we're going to stick him in A. He got some nerfs. He was really good. Fail not, as well as hunters in mid made him really strong. Then he got nerfs and he stopped being played. He
What's
has good
stopping
clear coming.
Amus and Cobb from being higher than A?
He just he doesn't do anything. Apollo and Anhur are a lot better. Um, First off, they're more mobile. They're a lot harder to kill. They do a lot more damage than Amuzin Cobb does in a mid hunter as a mid hunters, which
Ah,
is
okay.
mainly where you're seeing a lot of hunters being played.
Right.
He's immobile. His clear hit the where they mainly hit his nerfs was his clear. It's his ability damage. He's not able to clear as well. Both Honor and Apollo clear better than him now. On top of being a lot more mobile, a lot more safe. So it's a lot harder for those for Amazon Cobb to do what he was doing when he was really strong.
Right.
Next up, we got Opwash. We're gonna stick him in A plus. Opwash got a really good buff this patch. They gave anti-heal on his one, as well as so he now has anti-heal on his one, his ult, and he has the stun on his three when the dot is applied. So he basically full counters healers right now. And there is a lot of healing. There's not a lot of healing gods per se, like your Hells, your Ras, your Afros, who are really good, but there are a lot of guys with healing that are good right now. Hercules, Amaterasu, King Arthur, you name it. Him being able to basically full counter healers now is really good. Um, with that being said, he's extremely safe. I mean, he's not safe. Yeah, he's not extremely safe. He's not safe. He has no mobility. His damage is really weird. His one, it works in this really weird line. His ultimate is not uh it's hard to get a lot of damage off in his ultimate. Pretty much the best time to use your ultimate is when you're getting jumped on, or like you're getting engaged on in a team fight, or you have like a big CC about to happen. Like your Ares blinks in, gets a good ult, your Shizano gets a knock up. You can ult in combination with that to get your damage off a little bit easier. His also like level 1 through like 6-7 clear is really bad, but he begins to one shot the lane a lot quicker, and makes him able to more efficiently farm. But the fact that he does so well late game into healers, great. I like him in A plus, really. Also, lower tier players don't know how to play against them. Casuals ranked, you can farm on Opwash all day because people do not know how to play against Opwash. They will walk into his abilities all day. They will never leave his ultimate. Um, Next up is Amaterasu. I just mentioned her. She's S plus. She's the queen of ranked, really. Variety said he said if you want to win ranked, play Ama. She can be played in 3 different roles right now: support, solo, jungle. They just gave her the big buff, which is why she's really good in both jungle and solo. Her clear now is not amazing, but it's a lot better. Um, you're not conceding lane is easy. And Amaterasu's always been a god. Once you get to the late game, she does a lot of damage and she's really hard to kill while being very tanky. Um, let's say Queen of Ranked, SPL, not so much. You could argue an S viability for her in the SPL. You're not going to see her picked or banned a lot, but definitely in rank, I would say you probably want to ban her because if somebody knows how to play Amaterasu, they're just going to fuck you. Next up is on her. I mentioned it briefly when talking about Amuzinkop Apwash, A plus. Um, could argue S tier for sure. He's one of the best mid laners in the game. He has good clear, a lot of pressure in mid lane. Anhur always been a high pressure god, and it kind of doesn't work for him all the time in the ADC role because it's like you play this Anhur, and I'll just play Rama, and it doesn't matter late game. I just do so much damage. It doesn't matter that you can early, you might even get a few solo kills on that Rama, but as long as he's playing smart, his team's playing good, and he can get his farm, he's going to be a lot better. But in the mid lane is where Anhur shines because you're playing a role that is slowly not getting a lot of farm. There's a lot of your carry lanes off doing their stuff, and they're getting all their farm. You're splitting lanes with supports and jungle, so you're not getting all your farm. And so the best way to do that is you play a guy that's not good late game. You play a guy that's really good early game, and you take the fights. You take the fights for early objectives. And Anher's really good at that. He's really safe as well. He has a leap. He has a CCMU ult. He has that impale. If you jump on him, he impales you into a wall. You're probably gonna die. Um, very strong god. I've seen him a good, decent amount in SPL. He's not a very pub stomp ranked high rank god, but if you're really good at on her, play him in those ranks, you'll probably do extremely well. Um, Next up is Goobus.
I'm gonna I'm gonna
C.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess where you're
C.
gonna put him. It was gonna be C.
Yeah. Historically, a very poor god. There's been very few points in Smite's history, not just this season, this meta, ever. Nubis has been good. A mobile god, low protections, low HP, and the major attraction to his kit, all this life steal he gets, is shut down by anti-heal. And there's a lot of that going around. It's very easy to build anti-heal. There's a lot of guys who have kits. Looking at Opwash right now, one on the board already. Um, Nubis does really good in your casual games, and in some of your low level rank games, you're probably thinking, oh my god, if you're like not very good at this game, you're probably screaming at me right now talking about how broken Anubis is, and I'm just like, bro, I'll just kill an Anubis every single day of the week. Like I see Anubis walk anywhere like 3 feet away from a teammate or a tower line, I'm killing them. That's what I'm gonna do, you know. Um, so yeah, definitely C tier, very poor god. Um, next is Ao Kwong. Uh, we're gonna stick him in A. I really want to put him in B plus because of the fact that this guy will not show up in SPL anytime soon. Any sort of pro league, he will not show up. His early game is so bad in this meta where there's a lot of invading going on in the jungle. He can't invade, and he cannot prevent himself from being invaded. And you just put your throat on, you just put your foot on Al Kwong's throat. He can't do anything. He just can't do anything in the early game. If he can't get a few kills, if he can't get a stay on par or a level ahead, then he's not going to do anything. You're just going to have a guy, you're going to snowball, and your Al Kwong is going to be useless until the late game. With that being said, ranked, he does pretty well in ranked. But there's a lot of invading going on in ranked as well. Casuals, you'll see them do a lot better in casuals because you're not going to lose the game off the invade. So they might invade level 1, but they're probably not going to invade again. It's very easy for you to get farm, very easy for you to get kills. People they don't buy beads, so you're just going to kill them, as Ao Kwong. Or they don't know how to use their beads, or they waste their beads. So you're going to get free executes with Ao Kwong. I've never gone negative with Ao Kwong, I think, ever in the entire time I've played him. And I'm not good at Smite. So if I can do that, it's the same thing. Casual conquest, like just Ao Kwong's just going to farm people. He's going to get to late game. He's going to do a shit ton of damage. But like I said, I kind of want to say B plus because he's at that high level rank, that SPL play. You'll never see him up there. Aphrodite, we'll go B plus. Afro got a solid buff a while ago, not too long ago, and I really liked it. But she's very situation. She kind of struggles to fit in roles. You're not going to play her in mid because high pressure junglers or just any mages that show up in mid. She's not going to be able to do well into them. You're not sticking her over there in the ADC role. She's probably going to be played in solo, and she can't contest any solo laners at all. She has decent clear. She has a really good heal. They get some solid buffs to her 1 and her 2. She's very easy to kill. Anti-heal is everywhere. Very situational, but still can be played. I like Afro a lot. She's fun to play. But just you're not getting away with your healing. You're just gonna die a lot. Next up is Apollo. We're sticking him in A plus along with Anher, the second best hunter in that mid lane role. Really, first or second, him and Anher kind of do the same thing. A lot of clear, hits extremely hard. Apollo hits very, very hard. Extremely safe, probably safer than Anher. He's got the dash, he's got the mez, he's got the ult. That ult's also another good thing. You can rotate to any team fight that's happening, any lane, whatever, do whatever. A lot of pressure. Very strong in that. Very strong in that spot. I like him in A plus. You're going to see him a lot. Arachne is the next god, and we're going to stick her in B. They did all these nerfs to the auto attack guys that were really popular at the beginning of the season. They nerfed all the katana tree. They nerfed Arachne directly. Um, she just doesn't do anything. She was always this really good pub stomp god. She still is. A lot of times you could play Arachne and you can run at people and they're not gonna kill the spiders. They're not gonna kill you. You're just gonna kill them and you're gonna snowball. Ranked even kind of still a little bit SPL. You'll never see her. You'll never see her in the SPL. Not even situational. If somebody really likes Arachne, maybe, but very low viability, very comfortable putting her in B. She'll farm you in your 1400 conquest game for sure. Ares A plus. I think Ares is still strong. He got a big buff a while ago, increased his clear. Started being played in the jungle. But the biggest problem with that is that buff no longer really applies to Ares because you're not in lane. You're not starting in duo lane a lot. You're maybe starting in mid or you're trying to invade, especially in your higher level games. And so that's not as relevant, especially at the highest level of play. But with that being said, Ares still does a lot of damage. Ares still has a good ultimate. Ares is still very annoying, especially in your casuals and ranked. You can get away with Ares a lot in those game modes. You can even get carried by that Ares. In the SPL, he's still seen. He does still have a presence. There's a lot of people who really, really like to play Ares, do really well on Ares. But he's not perfect. He's one of the easiest supports to kill, completely immobile, very easy to kill in that situation. But Ares gets a few picks, he can easily get some damage going. Very strong, I said very strong pick. I like him a lot. Uh, at that A plus position, you could argue A because of how like easy he is to exploit. And a lot of people slowly kind of learn to play against Ares. He's one of those guys where it's like, oh my God, Ares is so overpowered. He does the damage and he does the pull, and I don't buy the beads because I'm level 20, you know? You're still buying meditation and you die to Ares on cooldown. People don't buy the correct relics. Um, but people learn to play against him soon. They learn that the chains cripple. They learn he does a lot of damage. They learn they can beads his ultimate. They learn how to use CC immune ult. So people slowly begin to learn to play around him, expect even in lower ranks, lower elos. But I think I like him at A plus. Very strong god. Can be played in jungle, even solo. Hell, go for it. Artemis, sticker in A. Very average hunter. Um, you can play her in mid. She's not going to be as good as Apollo or on her. You can play her in ADC. Has okay clear. Is pretty safe despite being immobile. She has the root to cripple with her traps. She has 20% movement speed on her two. She has a CC immune ult with the stun. She can be very hard to kill. Very hyper carry. Does a lot of damage. Her passive, her two. Strong God, I like her in A. She's not going to win all the games. You're not going to see her play a lot in SPL. Lower end games, Artemis tends to farm a lot because she'll run into a team fight ult and just kill everybody because nobody's going to beat your stuff or nobody's going to care that she's just sitting there auto attacking in the deck. Um, Next up, Artio. We'll stick her in A as well. Artio just doesn't do anything special. She's very aggressive, which can kind of help when you're trying to be aggressive, get invades and stuff like that. But you can play her in solo lane, but she's not going to beat out a lot of the top solo laners. You play her in support, but she's not going to have as much of an impact as some of the better support gods. Average support, I personally love to play Artio. She's very fun to play, but just very average. Just a lot of CC, a lot of early game damage, very annoying, hard to kill. Lower ranks, Artio is a lot stronger because people just don't expect the Artio to kill them at level 4 or 5 so easily. And then she gets to the late game and she's super hard to kill. She has all the sustain. She has a cripple. She has a stun. She has a dash with a slow. But average pick, She can stay right there. Next is Athena. Stick her in A as well. Kind of want to put her in A plus a little bit. Reason being, now she's staying in A for but like I say, kind of second opinion, kind of want to put her in A plus because of the ultimate. That ultimate's always good. Being able to get to a teammate when you need to be there all the way across the map can be very crucial. The taunt is still really good, but Athena doesn't do anything to really separate her. You know, she's not good. She's not exceptionally good in lane. Like she doesn't have amazing clear. She doesn't do invade super well. Um, but she's still a good god. You know, lower rank people don't buy beads, so you'll just taunt them and kill them. Good coordination. She can still work out. Still a worthwhile pick. Next is a Wheelix. A plus for sure. This is where that lower end kind of comes in play. People complain about the Wheelix all the time because they're really bad at Smite. Um, they let the Wheelix kill them. They don't know to turn around when they fight in a Wheelix, so she can't knock you up. They don't know to buy beads, so they get pulled all the time. And it's a Wheelix gets a one or two kills. She snowballs very easily. People who are really good at a Wheelix, they have a lot of outplay potential. It's very hard to kill them. They utilize the CC immunity on the feather step, and I mean CC immunity, damage immunity as well. Get iframes. That's called some pro MOBA talk right there. Um,
I didn't
people
know
don't know
that.
how to play. It's called iframes, immunity frames.
Learned something new every
Deja
day.
has them on his sash as well. Um, so you get those and a lot of outplay potential. She's going to snowball. She's going to farm really bad players, even in ranked. SPL, she's still really good. You see her played a lot. You see her play because she can counter a lot. She fits well into a lot of team comps. There's a lot of knockups that are in the game. There's a lot of gods with leaps, and she counters all of them. So definitely has a presence in the SPL, but she's really in this A plus, very strongly in A plus because of lower level games. Um, Next is Bacchus. We're gonna stick him. We're gonna stick him in A. Uh, Kind of want to stick him in B plus. Bacchus got a good butt early. Was really good. Really annoying. And the reason why was pressure in lane. Guess where supports aren't anymore? In lane. Bacchus no longer has that pressure. Sure, he can get pressures on invades, so he can work a little bit. Um, but all that pressure and damage he was doing in lane is not it's not as applicable in higher levels. Your casual games, Bacchus will be extremely annoying for you to deal with. It's extremely annoying for your enemies to deal with. He can very easily lead to some snowballing in that duo lane. But that in this invade meta, he's not going to work out a whole lot. Player support players in the SPL, they're not starting in lane. And if they are, they're not staying there very long. They're rotating a lot. They're getting out of there as soon as possible. They want that carrier to be ahead. He's not staying in the lane. He's not getting all the pressure in lane that he usually gets. Bach is also extremely easy to kill because he wants to jump in, and that's what he wants to jump in and disrupt. He wants to dive, and as soon as Bacchus lands, you hit him with a CC, he's probably dead. Um, which is very unfortunate. So he's very A tier. Like I said, kind of want to put him in B plus because he's still not even good in like the lower tiers. Kind of, people just know how to kill the Bacchus, unfortunately. But I'll keep him in A. Next is Bakasura. That's a B tier as well. Same thing with Arachne. They nerfed all the auto attack items, all these auto attack assassins. They left. Bakasura's along with them. He'll farm really bad kids. That's about it. You let him hyper farm, you let him invade. He'll probably come around and kill you a lot, but he doesn't exist in any form of high level play. Next is Baron Samdi. We're gonna stick him in B plus. Uh, Baron struggles to find really struggles to find his purpose. He's not exceptional in any role. He's a mage, but kind of he's not good in mid or the ADC. You can play him in solo, but he doesn't compete with good solo laners. You can play around with him in support, but he can't invade. So yeah, he's just not He's just not very good. Very, like I said, very situational. If you need a tanky mage, you can play some Baron. You can play him in solo. You can play him maybe in the ADC role. You know, he's got a good kit, very good kit. But just not applicable. You know what I mean? He's not worth picking. Um, Next is Bastet, Base Titty. That is a C tier for me. It is teased that she will get a rework, and that's, I know all the Bastet fans are crying right now. Your Kawaii Bastet spamming woohoos in my games. Please leave. Um, no, just no. She doesn't excel at any part of the game. She kind of has like this kind of really powerful like mid game spike, but the ult sucks. Especially in team fights, you just kill the cats, they die. She has no hard CC. Another problem I think she suffers from her too is tick damage. It's her major form of damage, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot of tick damage in the game, but tick damage can be it works differently than just flat damage. You can sanctuary part of it. Any form of damage mitigation, you can out heal it. So yeah, just Bassett isn't good. Sorry guys. Bologna, solid A tier. Was really good right along with the Achilles at the beginning of the season. But as we're about to see, a lot of these solo laners that are coming up, they just all shit on Bologna. Achilles counters her, Tears counters her. Yorm, she's not beating Yorm or King Arthur. She does really well against like Amaterasu, but Amaterasu doesn't care. Amaterasu's going to lose lane, and then Amaterasu's going to do really good. Um, she pub stomps a lot because a lot of people don't expect her to clear as fast. They try to box her, and you can't really outbox her. Um, Especially like a lot of like kind of not high pressure gods, like they'll play Sun Wukong, they'll try to fight the Bologna, and the Bologna will just kill him. So yeah, also all that sustain she gets from Berserker Shield in her three, that anti heal just completely negates that, So just, but she's still pretty strong, good clear, good boxing, can die very well. Will probably do good in a lot of your casual lower rank games, but just that higher end compared to a lot of these strong solo picks, nope. Um, Next up is Kabrakin, A tier. Yeah, definitely A tier. Thinking about A plus, I know Kabrakin is kind of sneaking around. He's trying to find his way back into the meta, but he kind of doesn't excel at anything really. Solo lane, he's got some pretty good clear. Jungle, he can kind of defend it. He can defend his buffs better than a lot of assassin. He can invade as well. Very tanky. A lot of you've seen some tankier junglers becoming a lot more present. Support as well. He can invade. He can be aggressive. He just doesn't excel. Isn't better than a lot of the better picks out there. So with that being said, next up is Camazotz. Camelthot. That's a B plus. Situational. When King Arthur was really, 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 really strong, Camazotz was his only complete counter. He's the only god who's really able to out sustain King Arthur regularly. And that still holds true. He can still kind of counter the King Arthur a little bit. And that's the only time you're going to see a Camazotz in high level play, like SPL.
Is it true that the leap on Kamazotz's or sorry, the heal on Kamazotz's leap is uncapped?
Yeah, he does have an uncapped heal on his leap, which is annoying because you can literally watch a Camazotz and solo lane group up the minions and leap on them and heal for about almost a third to half of his HP. Um, He has good clear, good sustain. Very annoying in that lane. Can do a lot of damage, but a lot of these guys don't care. They're going to outbox them. If you're really good at kind of fighting early, maybe. But it's like if I'm playing a guy like a Sun Wukong, then I'm playing. I'm super safe anyways. I'm never going to die. Yorm's never going to die. You kind of have to match King Arthur a little bit. Achilles has good sustain. You're not going to really kill him. So you're just like I said, very below average. It has no presence in the jungle at all. Um, so which is kind of what his kid's built around. His passive's literally built around getting buffs, jungle monsters, and he's not even good there. Next up, the Cerberus. Let's take him an A. Kind of want to say B plus because you're not seeing Cerberus as much as you kind of once were.
Dude, I see him all the time in Corrupted Arena.
Oh, bro, Corrupted Arena SS tier easily in Corrupted Arena.
Might as well
Corrupted,
just move him here
cor-
now.
Corrupted Arena tier list coming out next, guys. Don't worry. I know it just left, but we'll do a tier list. But yeah, just in solo lane, he's pretty. He's good in solo lane. He has good clear, could be aggressive, but once again, not better than a lot of solo laners. Tier. I know for a fact Achilles just shits on him. You're not out sustaining King Arthur. He has no built-in sustain. He has to steal sustain with his passive, and that kind of works out. But it's not super good. Like Yorm just out clears you, out bullies you. Achilles shits on you. King Arthur out sustains you. So you're not doing a lot. You're not doing a lot in solo lane, support lane. Yeah, the support lane. In support role, he's aggressive, has some good aggression early, so he can kind of do the invade stuff. And if you're a good Cerberus player, I'd say you're fine playing him, but just doesn't excel at anything. Okay, support to play. Next is Cernunos or Cernunos. Some people pronounce it differently. We'll put him in A. Uh, Average hunter. If I say fix that. uh, Average hunter. Not extremely good mid, not extremely good in ADC. Will do good in both roles. If you're a good Cardunos player, you can play him. He's not extremely not bad. He's pretty safe. Has a dash that can go through walls. Has a lot of sustain. Has an ultimate that's a polymorph. So pretty okay god. Nothing spectacular. Next up is Chalk. Uh, I want to say put him in A. Just stick him in A. Almost want to say B plus. They gave a good buff to Chalk not too long ago. His ultimate now does a straight up knockup, not a launching knockup like a Hebo a Hebo 3 or a Vulcan 3. It does a straight up knockup, which is a lot better because it makes his ult a little bit more valuable. But Shock is very early game solo lane. Does a lot of damage, has good clear. That's it. His sustain means nothing in the late game. He's just an ult thought, and there's just so much more you can do. You're not playing well into a lot of the other solo laners either. Kind of want to put him in B plus, but I'm going to keep him in A because I feel as if, especially in the lower end, very very low ranked games, a lot of people die to Chalk very easily. Especially when that Chalk hits level 5, he'll ult them and he'll just kill them, and they don't know how to deal with the sustain. So it can be very annoying in low tier games and even carry a few. So I'm going to stick him in A just for that. Doesn't have a presence in the SPL. Next up is Chunga. B plus with Afro. See her in solo lane. And doesn't do anything amazing in solo lane. She's got the heal. She has built-in anti-heal. Has the heal, can be hard to kill because of that. She has a CC and damage immunity on her too. She has this ult that does a massive stun, and if you get hit with it at the end, can be difficult to deal with in lane because she can use her rabbit, her passive, get her items, doesn't have to back. Can be annoying. That's about it. She's not gonna really, do anything. Bad people don't build anti-heal. Bad people don't lock her down. So she tends to be super annoying in lower tiers. But she doesn't have a presence in any form of upper play. Her clear isn't even amazing in the solo lane. You're not seeing her in mid really or ADC roles. So below average situational probably fits her best. Chernobog, that's a pretty average hunter right there. Works well in the mid lane. Has good clear, really good clear, honestly. But he doesn't have good boxing potential. He's not going to be able to outbox like an Apollo on her or in any like 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. He's not as good as those guys in those situations. He does have the rotation ult. He can ult to another lane, ult to a team fight real quick. Very safe with his dash as well as his ult. Still a pretty good god. I like Chernobog a lot more than a lot of people probably like him. Chiron, a lot of the same thing as Chernobog. Stick him in A tier. He good clear in the mid lane. can be good in fights, but he doesn't have that same aggression. Doesn't have a lot of CC. Um, he's not really safe either. He has the dispel on his one. He's got this weird dashing sprint thing with his three. It's kind of a weird movement ability, and his ult kind of sucks. It can be a little difficult to use. Gives you a CC immunity. If you kind of get a gank in mid, a little fight, you can get your ult off. You can probably get a kill and revive. But pretty average hunter for the mid lane. Much like kind of Chernobog. Next up is Kronos. A A tier for sure. You got all the nerfs. He got all the nerfs to the rings. They no longer have movement speed. They nerfed the movement speed on his two, and that made him a lot less dangerous to play with because he's not as safe as he was. Kronos could zoom and boom. He had the ultimate, and now he's not nearly as safe. Still a very dangerous late game god, though. His passive still gives him all that power the longer the game goes. Auto attack mages are still really strong over there in that duo lane. So he still can be played, and he'll probably carry a lot of your lower end games where people aren't going to kill the Kronos. He's just going to be allowed to free farm and then free cast in the team fights and just kill everything. But he's a lot less safe now. A lot of times you're relying on an ultimate to save you. Sometimes you'll ult and you won't be put in a better situation. You'll be put either further back into the enemy team or you'll stay in the same spot and you'll just die. It's very unfortunate. Still a strong god. Next up is Kukulin. I really don't know where to stick him. I want to say probably B plus. Very below average. Kukulin is in need of some buffs. They gave him some slight tweaks earlier, but it was not enough to really change him. He's not even good in the early to mid game anymore. That was kind of the thing with Kukulin. Poor late game, good early to mid game. You can't out sustain anybody. Achilles beats you, King Arthur beats you, Jormungandr beats you. You're not beating any top end solo laners. And you get the late game, Amaterasu beats you. If somehow you're supposed to have a better late game than them. Just doesn't do anything, spectacular. His clear is mediocre. His team fight is mediocre. If you snowball as Kukulin, you'll be annoying. That's about it. And relying on something that may not happen. Sorry, he does have anti-heal, a little bit of a something, but it's not enough to make up. Cupid, A tier, almost want to say B plus. Cupid has terrible clear for a hunter. Well, it's not terrible, weird clear. It's not very good. And that means that in mid lane, he's given up pressure to Anhur, Apollo, Amu, Zenkob, a lot better hunters. And in duo lane, you're dealing with these mages that clear. They clear really well, and you don't. With that being said, though, he does have some pretty good healing. His healing is very underrated. He has a very good ultimate that counters mobile gods. Like your Circuits, your Wheelixes, they become a lot. It's very hard to kill that Cupid. He ults in place, he cripples you, and then if he stuns you, he's probably going to kill you. He has a pretty long dash. It gives him a little bit of movement speed buff, and he has the heals. Very annoying god. But he just does not excel at doing what a lot of other hunters excel at. So got to stick him in A, average pick. Daji, we'll throw up an A plus, similar to a Wheelix. Farms bad players. People don't know how to play against the Daji. Especially your teammates. Your teammates don't know how to play against Daji is the major problem. You may know how to play against Daji. Your teammates won't. Daji will jump on you. She'll kill you. Walk away, spam laughing with 90% HP. Your support standing there with all of his ability up. Your Geb didn't shield you, didn't ult you, didn't shell you, didn't do anything because he sucks. So Daji's going to kill you. Farms lower tier players is good in higher tier as well because there are a lot of gods that do not have CC immune ults. That's a big thing with Daji. People buy beads in high level. The beads are all. Will they be able to beads their ult the second time? No, because it has a long cooldown. So if you're playing your Merlins, your Thoths, your Isises, they're not perfect in the Daji, but she can grab them the second go around. If their beads are forced by something else, they can't immune her ult. So she's able to take advantage of that, able to dive them a lot easier, get those kills. Still has a solid presence in the higher ranks, and will definitely destroy you in casuals because, like I said, everybody sucks. Discordia, A tier. she's annoying. That's really it with Discordia. She's extremely annoying. She's got the root with the madness. She's got an invisible leap that gives her CDR, and her ultimate is just really annoying. She's very, very annoying. The passive is pretty good. She does a lot of damage late game, a lot of CC, but just more or less annoying. Not extremely good. Early game clear is not very good, so she doesn't work well in mid, doesn't work well in ADC lane. Um, but just very annoying. Next up, Erlang Shin. We'll stick him in A as well. Almost want to stick him in B plus. Those nerfs hurt Erlang Shin a lot. Um, he's no longer the same aggressive god he used to be. He does not do the same amount of damage. He's just really annoying to deal with. With that being said, though, Erlang gets a lead. Erlang can be very dangerous. He still has a lot of CC. He still has pretty good survivability. He still can outbox a lot of gods. So you should probably stay in A. Unfortunately, Rip Erlang no longer will have any form of haste on his kit. Next is Fafnir. We'll stick him in A plus. Fafnir is rarely ever not good, if ever. His 2 in Draconic and his dragon form is a huge buff. I mean, a lot of attack speed, a lot of power makes him very, very good at any time, especially in a meta where you're seeing hunter mids and you're seeing some ADC mages. So you're getting at these metas where it's like double hunter essentially, and Fafnir likes double hunter because Fafnir, he gets that big AOE coerced. He pops a frenzy, and every objective known to mankind dies instantly. Get in a team fight, lock down their supports, kill them. Your assassins dive in their backline. GG, easy. If you have some form of coordination in like a casual or low level ranked match, Fafnir will do really good. Say, hey, I'm ulted. Hey, let's go get Fire Giant. I'm ulted. Pop your coerce, kill Fire Giant in 3 minutes. I mean, not 3 minutes. If you kill in 3 minutes, you suck. 3 seconds. Still good in high level play. You'll see Fafnir from time to time. Doesn't excel in the invade meta. Isn't aggressive, but when you play for the late game, he'll be good. Fenrir's A. He was really good for that support for a little bit. I think he still can be played there. He definitely has the potential to be very aggressive early, getting a few kills. But Fenrir is just Fenrir. He's not extremely good in the jungle. He's not extremely good in solo lane. He's mainly good in that support role, and he still can be played. Kind of makes me want to put him in A plus, but I'm fine sticking him in A. Really, I don't see a whole lot out of Fenrir. Next up is Freya. She's in B. They finally fucking nerfed the shit out of her. She sucks now. She doesn't have any pressure in mid. Doesn't have any pressure in duo lane. You're probably just going to get killed. You can argue once you get to late game, but late game don't mean shit when the Honor's jumping on you and killing you at level 3, or you got to deal with an Isis or an Isis, a Falth, a Merlin in duo lane or in mid. If you're playing her in mid and there's another mage, you're not going to do well. She can't even really pub stomp either because people just want to kill her. I mean, she was pretty easy to kill before. Now that she doesn't do any damage, she's a lot easier to. She doesn't get picked or banned anymore. She was the most banned god of like season 6 forever. Now she just doesn't even get looked at. Poor Freya, low viability. Sorry. Ganesha, A tier. Annoying average support. A lot of CC. Good at killing objectives with the ultimate. Doesn't do exceptionally well in this invade thing, but very good god. If you're a good Ganesha, you're fine playing him. You'll be fine.
I'm a little bit angry on this placement. I think he should be in C because every time I play with Ganesha, he never has any kills.
You're right. Fuck Ganesha. Put him in F tier. F tier Ganesha. They suck. All bro. I have like a 0.18 KD with Ganesha. Maybe it's just the god, dude. I don't think it's the players. It's the god. Geb. We're gonna stick Geb. We're gonna stick Geb in S tier. He is the best pure support in the game. Now, as I said, talked a lot about supports. I started talking about how some supports aren't good because they don't do aggressive. Geb is not aggressive. He can be annoying in that early invade, but Geb is by far the best pure support in the game. Great late game ultimate, one of the best late game team fight ultimates in the game. He has the shield keeping your carry safe when you need them the most. If he starts in lane, he can be very annoying. He's very hard to kill. Fail not is very big. Crit is very big on hunters, and Geb's passive completely counters it. Like I said, he has the CC immunity on his rollout too, so he can be hard to stop. Has the knockup, has the ultimate, has the Geb shield. He's the best pure support in the game. I wouldn't say he's the best in the game, but when you think of like a Guardian support, he's the best one. Um, so if you like playing traditional supports, play him. You'll be fine. You can even, and like I said, you can invade. He's definitely works with the invades. He has the knockup. It can be annoying. Um, Still a pretty decent god. I was very, very good god. Like I said, S tier. Guan Yu. Um, I'm gonna say A. Be a little generous. Kind of want to stick him in B plus. His heal isn't good. He does not have a good heal. With anti heal being everywhere, it's not anything great. Um, so you can't really play him in support. He's been seen a lot in jungle more than like anywhere. He has he's a pretty decent jungler. Solo lane, not exceptional. Support, like I said, not exceptional. Average. He's average. You can play Guan Yu in support. You could do well. You can invade with him pretty well. You can do well with him in solo lane. You could probably kill some really bad players. You could do well with him in jungle. Hits pretty hard coming out of that jungle. You'd be surprised. A tier, very average. What's next? Hachiman, A tier, average hunter. Much like I kind of compare him to Carnunos a little bit. He got decent clear. Um, can be pretty safe, but he's not going to excel at anything. He's not going to beat out mages. He's not going to beat out other hunters that are really good. Uh, Very solid god. If you're a good Hachiman, he can be very good to play. He has the range autos. He has free mana. You have to buy mana pots. You don't have to buy Transcendence with him. You can buy Devos and be really good with him. Um, Next up is Hades. That's a C tier. Hades sucks. He needs to get reworked along with all these other gods. Hades just doesn't. He can't be played anywhere. You're not going to play him in mid. You're not going to play him in ADC. You're not going to play him in solo. You're just not going to play him, man. He's been really bad for a long time, much like Anubis. He's never the transition from Guardian to Mage never worked. Hades will probably farm you in your low level games because people don't buy anti heal and people don't kill guys that are out of position. He'll dive into your team and ult and everybody will die. Unfortunately, people don't beads. People don't do stuff to get out of Hades ult. So probably kill everybody. Hebo, we'll go A tier. Um, he's kind of struggling to find his spot in this weird meta. He can do well in the duo lane. He's not going to do well in mid. He'll be pressured by a lot of hunters, be easily killed by a lot of supports and junglers that are around there as well. Not extremely safe. He can jungle himself, but he's not doing well. Similar to Alkong, not doing well in the invades. Doesn't invade well, doesn't respond to invades well. But you can still play him. Obviously Hebo, everybody talks about it. 3 ults. Hebo does a lot of damage, and Hebo will kill a lot of bad players. But a lot of time that higher end, all Hebo does is usually like he tries to blink in and ult. That's what they always say about Hebo. Oh, blink in and ult. And that's what you try to do with Hebo. And that's not a super good strategy. If you blink in, you ult, and they all sanctuary, then you're dead, and you just lost one of your, you 4v5 and did nothing but force out a sanctuary. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but not an extremely good god. Hell, this is fun. B plus. And the reason I say this is fun, I think the past week, about 3 times, I've seen people complain about how overpowered Hell is. Those people were also 5 levels behind to the Hell and are really bad at this game. People don't know how to play against Hell. They really just don't. They let her just walk up and kill him, and then they don't buy anti heal, so she just heals. I played a game against the Hell where everybody was complaining. She was jungle. She's like 5 levels ahead of our mid. She killed me twice because my jungler wouldn't kill her in lane. And they all complained about her. And the only people at anti heal were me, the solo laner, and the support. Our Anubis sold boots for anti heal. People just don't know how to play against her, and they love to complain about her. Uh, as far as like actual high level play, struggles to find a spot. Solo lane hell is kind of a thing, but you're not beating out good solo laners. You can't play her really in support. You're not going to do. She's not extremely good to play in mid or ADC. She's just not good there. The healing's very easy to counter. She's immobile, can be very easy to pick off. Um, Next up is Hera. Stick her in A. I want to stick her in B plus, but we'll stick her in A. She was really strong when she first came out because of Argus. Since then, there's been some nerfs. Uh, she's not really good at anything, man. She's got some good clear. She can be very hard to deal with because of her shield as well as Argus. Give her some decent peel. Give her some decent damage. But not extremely good. Lower level, she'll probably farm because people don't kill Argus. Argus is not extremely hard to kill. People just don't kill him. They'll drop Argus, and Argus will solo three of the enemies before anybody touches them, and it's stupid. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Hera's annoying, kind of like Discordia, same thing, where she kind of has this really annoying damage. She has a polymorph. Argus has a knock up. But just kill Argus and kill Hera. I mean, it's pretty much how it is. Next up is Hercules S plus. Fuck Hercules S plus. I'll up there. Yeah, this god is stupid. Casuals, ranked, Hercules support will pretty much auto win a game. Because people don't know how to play against gods, and a lot of gods in general. They really don't know how to play against Hercules. Hercules will blink over the speed buff wall, dash the speed buff, steal it, and then kill the mid laner. And that's it. And then the rest of the game, Hercules is zooming around the map. He's got his Stellaria boots. He's got his shield of regrowth. Can't kill him. Nobody's going to hit him. He'll heal all the damage you do to him, and he'll probably kill your mage again before 5 minutes. And SPL, you're seeing a lot of Herc as well. Aurora personally loves Hercules. They have to ban it against him, or he's going to play and he's going to kill you. Very annoying. The support role can still be played in solo, can still be played in jungle even a little bit. Very annoying guy to deal with right now. I'd say yeah, ban Herc. If you're playing in a game mode where you can ban Herc, you're playing ranked conquest, ban him because you're probably going your idiot jungler's going and mid's going to die to him at level 1. Horus, A tier, pretty good god, struggles to find his identity. He's the warrior, but he's not extremely good in solo lane because his clear is very weird. Doesn't have extremely good clear. His ultimate doesn't get a lot of use over there. He can be played in support lane, can be aggressive, can get the invades, can do stuff like that. His heal can be useful. His ultimate has a little bit more useful. It has a little bit more use when you're grouping up. Jungle, the clear kind of comes back into the issue. Kind of weird clear, not very exceptional clear, but still a strong pick. The guy has a great kit. The ultimate, the heal, the dash into the stun, the knock up. The passive as well gives you a lot of heal. Fun god to play. Just kind of struggles to find his identity. Still pretty good. Ho Yi, A tier, average hunter. If you're really good at the bounces, you'll probably kill some people in Ho Yi really easily. But just average. His clear is not very good because it's it's the ricochet, so it doesn't clear very well. Like I said, if you can hit the stun, get a good bounce, pretty good ultimate. Guy's good for team fighting, good for zoning. You can clear wave with it if you want to. You can clear objectives with it. Your gold fears, your fire giants. Average god. You're really good Ho Yi. You can play him. That's fine. Hunbots. Sorry about that. A plus. Doesn't work too well in the invade meta. He can't invade, struggles against being invaded, but he can confirm his buffs pretty easy because of the monkey bounce. Yeah, if the support or the jungler comes over, you monkey bounce. It bounces once on them, bounces twice on them, twice on the buff. Very easy to get it. You can get it pretty easy. You can teleport to it. You can auto tag it. You can get your buff. So he can confirm his buffs a little easier. Can invade a little easier, but Hunbots is not a good early game god. It's always been Hunbots' biggest knock. But he has a very good team fight ultimate, especially in games, lower level games where people aren't going to buy the beads or they're not going to have it all the way up, and they're getting ulted by a Hunbots and they're going to die. Team fight ult, same thing. Drop the team fight ult, drop your fear no evil, and they're just gonna die. Really, people don't play it well. He does a lot of damage late game as well. His passive, along with Hydra's, just hits really hard. Um, so yeah, pretty solid jungler. Doesn't have the early game aggression that a lot of really good junglers have, but the ult by itself is enough to make him like a top five ish jungler. So I think he belongs in A plus. Isis. That is S plus, biggest S plus I've ever seen it. This is the best mage in the game. Player in duo lane, player in mid. Stupid god, really. Great clear. Spirit ball hits really hard. She has a silence with a broken shield. Her ult's broken. Makes her impossible to like. She has no mobility, like not a leap or a dash, and she's still impossible to kill
Her
because her
one
one
gives
gives
her
her
a speed bust.
it gives her, yeah, I was about to say that. Her one gives her movement speed and
Yeah.
no backpedal penalty, knock-up immunity. Her two is a stun. Her three silences and gives her a shield. Her ult gives her damage mitigation, a heal, and will probably instantly kill you if you fight in it. Stupid god, best mage in the game, player in mid, player in duo lane. I don't think I need to say anymore. Tons of pressure. Great team fight ultimate, great anti-dive ultimate, great objective ultimate, very good god. If you really want to win games, play Isis in mid because you'll probably kill their mid laner at like level 2. Izanami, want to sticker in B plus, dude. Like they can't fix Izanami's dash to save her life. Like that, Izanami will die all the time because of her dash. She has good clear. That is it. it Lower level games, she's probably going to fuck somebody because they're going to out clear and they're going to be auto attacking like archers, and she's going to auto attack them to death because people are bad. But anytime anybody knows how to play against Izanami, she doesn't do anything. She has good clear. They just stay back, they clear their wave, and then they wait for somebody to kill the Izanami for them because she can't dash. I don't know. She has great tower push. That's it. Super situational god. I
I
just
agree
can't.
with that. Usually whenever you and I play Smite and I play Izanami, we usually farm retards with her. So
Hmm. Exactly. Like I said, good wave clear. Will people back and they leave a full minion wave in the lane, and she'll get their tower at 4 minutes because they don't know how to play against her. But outside of that, she just dies super easily. Her ultimate is like this weird mix of good and bad because it's like, oh, it's this AoE with a silence, but it's hard to hit. And well, not extremely hard to hit, but kind of hard to hit. But that dash just fucks her over so much. She also, despite all the good clear, she doesn't have extremely good pressure because she doesn't have CC. You play against on her, you might be able to out clear the on her, but the on her is going to jump on you, stun you, and then kill you. Apollo is going to mez you. Apollo hits harder than you. Um, so I don't know. I don't like her. I like her in B plus. You could argue A because of how well she does, but I'll keep her in B plus for now. I feel comfortable. Don't like Izanami. Um, A tier, Giannis for sure. Uh, Giannis. Yeah, there you go. The ultimate's good. Good ultimate. High mobility, hard to kill if played correctly, but doesn't have exceptionally good clear. Really only has one damaging ability. Um, if you're good at Giannis, play him, but not extremely good. Average mage. Jing Wei. We're gonna stick her in S. This is the best hunter in the game. Uh, you don't see her in mid a lot, but she is by far the best ADC hunter in the game. Good clear, extremely safe. Um, a lot of these mages that will out clear you, it doesn't matter because you get back to lane. If you get any sort of pressure, you come back to lane really quickly. You're not going to die. Solid clear, built-in crit works extremely well with Fell Knot. Yeah, best hunter in the game. If you play her in mid, if you play her against aggressive hunters, she can't die. That's the biggest issue. You're just never going to kill her, and then she gets back to lane super easy. So, best hunter in the game. by far. Jormungandr, I'm gonna stick him in S plus. Um, Kind of want to stick him in S because I don't think he's first band material, but I'm gonna stick him in S plus because I know how like easy it is to farm people in Yorm. He's probably him and King Arthur probably tied for best solo laner in the game. His level, kind of early-ish levels, are not good, or not exceptional. They're still good. He still has good clear. He has the AOE cone autos. His one still is good. His two still is good for clearing. He gets totem for free. He can clear his buffs for free because his little spit pools last forever. This god is impossible to kill with his ult up. If you get ganked in solo lane, you press Y because we play on Xbox. You get your ass out of there. You're about to die in a team fight. Press Y, get your ass out of there. Does a lot of damage. Has a lot of CC. Has a knock up, a slow, a tremble. Um, Very annoying guy. People underrate his damage. They'll be sitting in his cone auto breath, taking half their health because they're idiots. Um, you know, super annoying with the slows. Got the knock up, got the tremble. Like I said, ultimate. He can rotate with that. He can chase kills with that. He can get out with that. Very annoying god. Like I said, impossible to kill. He's stealth. He has a stealth. He can see stealth gods. You know, very powerful god. S plus, I think, is where he belongs. I think you should probably, if you can pick him, Jormungandr, pick him. If you can ban him, ban him. Um, so yeah, Callie, she's joining our little auto attack firm down there in B. Like I said, they nerf those items. They don't clear as well. They don't have any early pressure. They're losing their buffs. 100% in this invade meta, they're gonna lose. Especially her, she has the worst early game out of all of them. She's losing her buff. She can't invade well. Needs a lot of farm to get to the late game. Anti heal is everywhere, so even so you can't expect to jump on their retarded Anubis and kill him. You're gonna anti heal. You're gonna recover. Have 20% HP, and then you're gonna die. Um, no form of early game pressure, doesn't spike till late, and her late game isn't spectacular because anti heal is everywhere. You'll probably farm really bad people on her though. Don't get me wrong. Kepri, uh, we'll say A. We'll say A. Don't know how I feel about Kepri. He's not aggressive, so doesn't play well into invades. He's always been a good lane god. He has good. He has a good. His two is really good for clearing the wave. It does a decent amount of damage, does increase damage, and reduces damage done to your minions. So he's always been good at that. But supports aren't in lane. Um, you could probably say, because like I said, I have Geb up here at A. He's a good, be good. I mean, at S, he's a good pure support. So traditional support still pretty good. But like I said, you're not starting in lane. The ultimate can be countered. So stick him in A right now. I feel very comfortable with him there. Kind of a little confused. I kind of want to put him higher because Kepri's fun to play, and Kepri has a lot in his kit that's good. But we'll stick him in A for right now. King Arthur, that's S tier. Uh, I like Yorm and Gunner. As you can tell by the way I'm tearing him, I like Yorm a little bit better than King Arthur because I feel as if just Yorm's so there's so much to like about you. King Arthur has been really good since his release. I mean, he farmed, the sustain. He has good clear. You can't out trade him in lane. Late game, he has a sustain. His ultimate's like an executed about 50% on a lot of squishies. Build him hybrid, does a lot of damage, sustains a lot. Hard to beat in lane. A lot of people don't know how to play against him as well. Same thing with that lower level play. People don't know how to play against the King Arthur. Um, People don't know how to deal with him. They'll just die to him in lane, and then he'll show up in a team fight, and he'll, ult your mid laner at 70%, and he'll kill him instantly because he's 5 levels ahead of him. He still gets banned a lot in ranked. Not so much in he's really mellowed out. He's gotten some good nerfs. People wanting to play against him. So in the SPL, he gets through a lot more. He's like the fourth most banned god in season 6, I want to say. So they're lighting up on their bans a little bit on him, but still extremely good. Like I said, one of the best solo laners in the game. Out sustains almost everybody. The reason why I mainly put Yorm above him because Yorm doesn't care if you out sustain him because you're not going to kill Yorm. And Yorm is a little bit more valuable late game. He does a little bit more damage, has a little bit more of that disruption. Whereas King Arthur, you just buy anti heal and you hit him with a good CC chain and he'll probably die. Still doesn't make him any less annoying. Still doesn't make him any less good in lane. Definitely very good at S tier. Kukulkan, or Kukulkan, however you want to pronounce his name, A tier. Um,
Don't buy
he
boots.
got down by boots, right? Um, depending on who you asked, Kukulkan's really good. Um, those people also play a lot of Clash and buy meditation first. Relic. Don't listen to them. Kukulkan did get a buff though. He became a little bit harder to kill. Um, and they made his damage on his tornado a little bit easier to confirm because they rid the delay on it. Or not got rid of it, lessened the delay on it. But Kukulkan still that hasn't really changed a lot about Kukulkan. He's got good clear. Uh, Still is pretty easy to kill. Doesn't have an innate movement ability. Has a slow two with a little movement speed buff, and still has hard to confirm damage. The tornado still is hard to use a little bit. The ultimate is all kind of crazy, and the one is a weird skill shot that's pretty much single target. So she still suffers from Kukulkan problems. You'll probably do well in a lot of lower levels because of how well he clears. He clears the lane, and people don't know how to deal with that. They don't know how to exploit his two. Say, all right, he two'd into this fight. Let's kill him. People also walk into his ult. It's like a Kukulkan ult. Don't get me wrong. If you can angle that Kukulkan ult right, or if you get good setup, then yeah, good for you. But if you're just gonna walk into it, you know, it's really get not bad players. Bad players just gonna get farmed by him. He's really easy to play, so I don't know newer players will pick him up. But definitely kind of want to put. I will say I think people sleep on him a little bit. He could probably be an A+ pick. Would be surprised. That clear that he has is really good, especially when you're looking at these mages being alone in the duo lane, which is kind of what we call it duo lane because there's only 1v1 pretty much. But you know, um, Isis and Merlin, he kind of encroaches on their clear. I mean, Isis is still fucking stupidly broken, so Kulkin's not gonna outbeat her. But uh, Kumbhakarna, um, A, A, uh, might want to say A+, but I think I'm gonna keep him an A for now. That's my second opinion. A+. Like I said, all these guys, they kind of got a second opinion. You can kind of move them up, up them down a little bit. Uh, Kumba has good early pressure, you know. It's kind of the big thing with Kumba. He's really, really annoying. Has all the CC, has good early pressure, good damage. So you can very well invade on him. Um, Very well do some things with him in mid. Um, so you can definitely say that A+. A lot of lower level players kind of struggle with him because they don't know what his kit does, or they just let the Kumbhakarna CC him till they die. Can be played in jungle. Pretty fun in jungle. It can be played in jungle. You can play him in jungle and have some fun. I've been playing him a lot in solo and been having a lot of fun. But as far as support, which is the role you're pretty much always going to see him in, good pressure. Really annoying. That's about it. Kuzenbo. I'm gonna say B tier. Um, you can argue B+ because he can counter hunters pretty well. The two gives him the reflect damage. You can build, you get two thorns, Nemean, and reflect a lot of damage. But Kuzenbo's not really good anywhere. He's not good in solo lane. His clear is really bad. He can do a lot. He can do a lot of cheesy things in solo lane, like he can reflect the damage from the minions, reset the clear his cooldown on his one. He can push the gods through the wave. He can push him under tower. He can ult and be annoying, but his clear isn't very good. Um, got support not very aggressive, can't do the invade thing, not extremely good in wave. um yeah, just really sort of not even a good pub stomp god. I know everybody loves Kuzenbo. I love Kuzenbo as much as the next guy. I got him like rank 4 or something. The Nene Kappa. Kuzenbo needs a gun. Give him a gun, give him an Uzi. But sorry, Kuzma's not good, man. I almost want to put him in C but I think he's a little bit better than that. Um, Loki. We have a Loki tier, and that's where he goes. Yeah, up there. Fuck Loki. Loki's never been good. I don't think Loki's ever really been anywhere near good in any form of competitiveness. Yeah, your arena games, Loki will farm you. If you're really, really bad at conquest, Loki will farm you. Um, Other side of that, Loki doesn't excel at anything. His jungle clear is god awful. Um, his solo, you can cheese him in solo lane, but I mean, once again, you're basically forfeiting totem, and you're probably going to wind up getting killed by one really good solo lane god. Um, he exploits bad players. That's about it. Loki's probably getting a rework soon. Medusa, average hunter. Um, Almost want to put her in A plus because I feel as if especially low ranked players, Medusa can be very annoying to them. People don't play at a high enough sensitivity to avoid the ultimate, so she's forcing a lot of beads. She has good wave clear, good boxing potential, isn't extremely safe. She does have a dash, does have a CC immune ult. Um, Pretty average hunter, you know what I mean? Pretty average. Next is Mercury. A tier. Uh, the invades, he's not extremely good against him, not extremely good into him. Needs a lot of farm, but Mercury can definitely hard carry. He also is a very strong source of physical damage. So if like you're playing in a comp where maybe you have a mage in mid and a mage in duo lane, you can definitely pick up that Mercury because he'll be that hard carry, hard physical carry. Does a lot of damage, can be very good at ganking. The ultimate, you can ult up lanes, still has good, not extremely good early clear, but good early to mid clear. Um, can still farm pretty easy, will still carry a lot of lower game, but just once again, that level one, not very good. Merlin, S tier. One of the better mages in the game. I mean, Merlin clear. Merlin has a lot of CC. Merlin has 8 abilities. And doesn't like about Merlin. He works well and he can work well in the duo lane. He can work well in the mid. He doesn't succeed a lot of pressure to mid hunters. Very safe. Has a blink for his movement. Yeah, Merlin's really strong. Merlin's stupidly strong. His fire stance still does too much damage. Um, Neath, uh, A tier, pretty good. You know, she's always been this like mid hunter, pretty much what she's always really been. She's never been a true hunter, but she has good clear, not extremely safe. She has the backflip, and that can be very easily countered. Does have the global ultimate, does have some sustain, you know, pretty solid god, not exceptional. Next up is Nemesis. That's A tier for sure as well. Doesn't play well into invades. Not a very good early game god at all. Um, but Nemesis still has one of those things that she's really good at. She's a tank buff. That ultimate blows up tank. You're seeing tankier gods in the jungle now. So you're seeing triple tank sometimes. Nemesis can work really well into that. Um, Probably carry a lot of your lower rank game. People will feed her easy kills early, and then it's a late game Nemesis, and she builds hydras and stone cutting sword, and just two shots your mages. Neja, kind of like Fenrir, we're gonna stick him in A plus. Was a really strong, not A plus, A. I mean, oops, taking it out of A plus. I'm gonna say A. Was a really strong support assassin for a while. Really aggressive in lane. Can still be aggressive and work in the invade meta, but people once again are kind of falling off. Kind of learning to play around him. They got a nerf to his one not too long ago, but still can be played in that support role for sure. Getting that aggressive early damage, being annoying, um, just not extremely tanky by any means. Uh, Average god, can be played in the jungle, has good jungle clear, works well in the invade meta, but not exception. Nike, average god. She got a buff, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, Nike's good now," and they realize Nike's not very good now. King Arthur's still broken. Jormungandr's still broken. We can't. She doesn't play well into a lot of gods. You can still interrupt her one. So her clear is not extremely good. Um, She has a really strong ultimate. Her new two is pretty cool, a lot better than her old two. She still has that really good passive, but Nike's not exceptional anymore. Okay, clear. Probably good clear. Really, if we're gonna be honest. Good clear can be safe, hard to kill, really annoying late game. We're not winning lane against the likes of top solo lane gods. You can probably fool around with her in support, and she can do well. Next up is Nox, A tier as well. Average mage, good clear. If you're good at hitting the combo, she can be very dangerous. Pretty good ultimate. Uh, Not extremely safe, but okay. She doesn't excel. Average mage. Uh, Nuwa, stick her in A tier as well. Average. Okay, clear. Um, Not extremely safe. She has the mist, the invisibility. She has the ultimate to get her out of the sky. Main thing you're doing with the new Y is you're really just playing for the ultimate. You're trying to get to mid to late game where your ultimate's hitting pretty hard. You're using it to do damage in team fights, using it to pretty much find out where enemies are, using it for a lot of those reasons. She does pretty well in the ADC kind of age thing. She's one of the guys that kind of originated that. So average god. I like her there. Next up is Odin. B plus. Um, he was they did a lot of nerfs to Odin and it made him really bad. And honestly, he still is pretty bad, but I think he deserves a little bit more credit because Odin still hard counters a lot of things. He's very situational, works really good in a gods with no mobility. That means they're wide open to bird bombs. They can't get out of his cage. Um, and it has 100% anti heal, so he can counter any still works very well. If your team picks Chunga, the enemy team picks Chunga and Afro, you pick Odin, you're going to kill him. The problem is that Odin's ultimate is still hard countered by Phantom. There's still a lot of leaps in the game. There's still a lot of teleports in the games. You're seeing a lot of blinks in the game. So if you can get an Odin ult and you can avoid taking damage, you can blink out. It's not a fantastic. He's not the same old Odin he was. They're saying he's gonna get a rework. We'll miss the old Odin. Bird bombs are life, but situational guy. Oleron S tier. This is the premier ADC game right now. The god is pretty stupid. Great clear. He crits for some reason. I don't know what thing. He gets free 40% attack speed with his two that does a lot of damage. He has a knock up slow and a heal that gives protection. His ultimate is completely broken. He destroys tanks. This guy destroys tanks. Your tanks aren't building beads. Your solo laners, your supports are not building beads. You ult them, they die. Ult them, pop your two, and just hit them for 300 damage and auto with your stupid crit and kill them. Uh, he's really strong. He's not. I don't think he's not to the point where he's first pick, first ban because you don't want your ISIS in the game. You don't want other aggressive guys in the game. So Oleron's going to slip through, but premier ADC mage in the game, really really strong. Uh, pretty safe as well. I mean, the ultimate plus the three can make him very hard to kill. Osiris A, average solo laner, can be pretty aggressive early. Osiris has always had a good early game. He has the cleave autos, he has the damage mitigation, but he doesn't really excel at anything. King Arthur out sustains him. Norman Under die. Same old as you hear with a lot of these solo lane gods. I think he could be a little slept on. You could argue A plus. I think a lot of people sleep on Osiris, especially in the lower level. A lot of people just don't expect Osiris to be that good, and he out clears them, he outboxes them, and they can't kill him. But I think I like the A tier a lot. Um, it can be kind of easy to kill. He has a damage mitigation, a lot of damage mitigation, but he's only for does have 100% anti-heal, so pretty good little part, but average god. Pele, average god, A tier for sure. We got a lot of A's, but that's why it's average. Pele, um, good jungle clear, can work in the not too terrible in the invade thing. pretty good at ganking. She can get around the map pretty quickly. She's got a knock up. She's got this ultimate that's a dash. She got this annoying healing on her passive, but it's not anything amazing. She doesn't have the best pressure. That healing can get shut down super easy. Anti heals everywhere. You know, it can be very easy to shut down that heal. Um, Annoying God though can be very annoying out of the jungle. Persephone S plus. Before this patch, I would have said SS to keep her up there. After this patch, she got some good nerfs. She got good nerfs to her. Um, this god doesn't lose lane. You clear lane by auto attacking plants that you placed there 5 years ago. On top of having a one that hits very hard, on top of having really good mobility, on top of having a global ultimate that roots and cripples. My God, what was high res smoking when they made Persephone? I can't figure it out. You can't figure it out. I'm guessing that her little plant she places are some extremely strong cannabis because that's what they were smoking.
I can
Strong
confirm
God.
this.
Yeah, a strong God, annoying to play against. Like it doesn't matter if you're Apollo or on her in mid. When she walks up the lane and she auto attacks her plants and they half hit you when they chase after you, and she's just sitting there, auto attacking the wave, throws down another one, hits it, blows up, clears the wave. Your full waves under tower. It doesn't matter if you can jump on her and kill her because you're probably not. You're also probably not going to do that. Um, that being said, though, Persephone is bad when she's behind, but you're never getting behind. That's the problem. Uh, Her late game can be hard to play for people who don't know how to play it correct because she doesn't have ready to go damage. One, they have to sit there for a little bit. I mean, her twos, her plants have to sit there for a little bit. But with an ultimate like that, she still has her one. She's still pretty safe. She comes back to life. I didn't even talk about that. She comes back to life for God's sakes. You can't kill her. You place your plants at the beginning of a team fight. You get killed. You come back to life and you kill whoever killed you. Um, but she got good nerfs, so I definitely won't say she's SS. She gets banned a lot. Low level players, if you know how to play Persephone, you'll probably kill whoever because they don't know how to play against her.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
mention Persephone is a really high skill gap character, and it's actually very hard to play her.
yeah, it can be very hard to play her. I will say that most people don't know how our plants work. Most people don't know how to make our plants work in the late game. But once again, you just learn how to play it. You throw your little plants down a lane, you walk up and you auto attack them, and either A, the idiot mid laner stands there and dies to them, or B, they have to run all the way back to their tower line to avoid dying to them. And very annoying to play once you learn how to play her. She's not extremely hard, but I would say she's definitely a lot harder than Poseidon, A tier, average, okay, clear, really annoying ultimate in the early game, kind of easy to kill. Doesn't have a lot of mobility. He's pretty fast, but he doesn't have that instant mobility. Um, Good clear, good damage, good team fight ult for some early game fighting. Uh is beat out by ages. Unfortunately, Ra. Let's take him down to B plus, man. I'm not liking Ra. He kind of has the one damaging ability. Um, has good clear. His sustain is weird. He doesn't have in combat sustain at all. So you're having to try to sustain out of combat, and that doesn't always work out because if you try to sustain out of combat, well, it's just like we're just going to come over there and kill you. We're going to Thor ult you, we're going to Rat ult you, we're going to blink, ult you with Geb, something like that. You know, uh, he has the ultimate on the short cooldown. I just think he's really situational and below average, man. You're not really out pressuring and fighting in mid. Even in the duo lane, Isis, Merlin, all those other gods are a lot better than. A lot of gods have things that they specialize in you better. Looking at even at A tier, Giannis has the rotate ability. Kukulkan has the clear. Um, Nox is just really annoying to deal with. Raw just doesn't do anything, man. It's sad to say. Raw's pretty fun to play. Just how it is. Ryzen, average god. Average mage, really. Okay, clear. Um, has the teleport, can be pretty safe, good ultimate, but once again, like a lot of these mages, doesn't equate to the gets out pressured. Um, gets out cleared, doesn't provide the same thing. Uh, Horizon's not always get, you know, he's good when he's ahead, not always ahead. Rama, same thing, average hunter. Uh, Not extremely good in the mid. He does not have good clear, so he doesn't well in mid against other hunters or other mages. So you're probably going to see him in duo lane, and even then, you're getting out cleared by the mages over there. But he's still that really good pure hunter. Late game he's still doing a lot of damage. Very hyper carry, very safe. Has the ultimate, has the directional dash, has the cripple on that dash, has the slow on his one. Can still do a lot of damage late game. Like I said, average, pretty much how he is. Low clear, very high potential late game. Ratatowski, that's S tier. He's one of the better junglers in the game right now. Very can be very aggressive, can invade, can work well against invades. Has one of the better early games. The acorn be very annoying. The ultimate very good for rotating. A lot of CC, a lot of lockdown. Uh, Once you get to the late game, you build him tanky. His one shreds protection. So you're doing a lot of damage as a tanky god. And it makes Red Tusker very good. Red Tusker's always good. He's always one of the better hunters and better assassins in the game, better junglers. That's very true right now. Ravana, A tier. Kind of want to put him in A plus, but we're gonna keep him in A. I don't think he's nearly as good as a Wheelix Dashi.
Dude, he's so broken, dog. He's so
Bro,
broken.
how's
Best
he
god in the
broken?
game. Oh, I don't know. I just see people complaining about him all the time.
I see people doing the opposite. Unfortunately, people think Ravana's not good, and makes me want to cry. Early game is not amazing. Level 1, level 2 is clears a little weaker. But before too long, he's doing good. Very good at killing mages. He's kind of one of those mage killer guys. Has a lot of lockdown. He's got the twos. That's a root. He's got a slow. He's got a one for CC immunity. He has ult. So very good at being able to get after, kill mages. Very good early to mid game. Gets that mid game stride. He's starting to do a lot of damage. He has a CC immunity, so it's very easy to blink on him. His ultimate gives him some damage reduction. So he's still a very good assassin. He just doesn't have a good early game. And doesn't have a good team fight, a super good team fight like a Thor or a Ratatosk. So very average assassin right now, very average jungler. You can even pull him out in the solo lane a little bit, be cheeky. Dakota likes support Ravana.
It's broken, dog, I swear.
Bro, it's broken. You just run at him. You built Lono's mask on it too.
I don't remember what the fuck I built.
Silly Willy. It's a average mage. Kind of.
I'm a little offended.
You're a little offended. I really think about putting her SS. I really think about putting her lower, but I think she's fine at at A tier. In mid lane, she doesn't have an amazing clear. So that means in mid lane, you're giving up that pressure to these hunters or other mages. In duo lane, same thing. So she's really hard to kind of work over there. She's not extremely safe. She's got the leap, but she's still very easy to kill. Has low protections, low HP. Has the ultimate. Also, can get you out of trouble. Gives you some movement speed, some CC immunity. But once again, Scylla just hits extremely hard. We all know the story. Scylla does a lot of damage. Especially mid game, she starting to spike a little bit, gets that crush to max level. So she can hit very hard. Her ultimate, we all know the story. Solo can change a game. Yeah, you get a solo, you get 2 or 3 kills off of it. It's crazy. That's not always going to happen. Like I said, her early game's a little weak. Doesn't do well against high pressure gods. Can be easy to kill. Probably will farm a lot of lower lane players because they're just going to get killed by her. They're going to walk into her crush and die. She doesn't even hit her root. They're just going to get crushed and die.
So I heard about your thoughts on Scylla mid, but what about the people that are playing Scylla solo?
Scylla solo is interesting. I haven't tried it yet. I really want to because it seems like it'd be very fun. She gets 100 power, by the way. I don't know if you know this. Scylla gets 100 free power, so you can build her like full tank with a little bit like some hybrid items, and she'll probably still like half hit somebody with her crush.
Yeah.
Um, so it was a fun god for sure, though. But just like I said, very easy to kill. I mean, even for me and shit stomp casual games. I mean, I die all the time as Scylla because it's so hard to like stay alive. People don't peel for you. And really smart junglers know how to target you. Supports know how to target you, stuff like that. Circuit S tier, extremely versatile god in the game. Can be played in jungle, can be played in support. Really good at both. Works well in the invade thing. Can defend her buffs well. Can invade buffs well, both as a jungler, both as a support. Um, a lot of good early game damage. Great early game god. Clears buffs very well. Has the taunt. Has 100% anti heal. Has good mobility. Does a lot of damage when tanky. Protection shred on the one, true damage on the ult, percentage health damage on the catalyst, which is her passive. So does a lot of damage while being tanky. Very good at ganking. Like I said, very good in both jungle support. Mid game 2v2, 3v3s. Jungle mid support. It can blink over, get a good taunt, does a lot of damage, and she's very hard to kill. So yeah, great god, very versatile. Like her in S tier a lot. Bless up to Weak Dad with the awesome Circuit gameplay. Taught me how to play the god. Set S tier. Almost want to put him in S plus because holy shit, this thing is banned a lot in SPL. This guy is really gross. He can play about 4 roles, probably 5. We could probably find a way to play him in support. Um, he's really good in solo lane, has good clear, has good boxing potential. One of the best ultimates in the game. Definitely a good one-on-one ultimate. He's just going to do a lot of damage to you, man. I mean, I haven't talked about him too much when discussing solo lane. Um, but yeah, he has good clear. Sustains pretty well. It's very hard to kill because his teleport works really fast. And like I said, once he ults, he's doing a lot of damage. He's healing a lot. He's getting a lot of his spawns up. He's gonna blow you up. Do a lot of damage. Still good in the jungle. Good clear, a lot of damage. Build him a little tanky, very hard to deal with. He does a lot of damage while being very tanky, a lot of sustain. He's been played at mid. He can be played in carry. I mean, he has good clear, good boxing potential. Great god mid to late game, tanky damage. Just got some nerfs to knock off his tankiness, his ability to play tanky a little bit, but it's not a whole lot. I mean, this god is still going to get banned a lot. He is a harder god to play. But just ult and drop your spawns. You'll probably fucking kill somebody. I mean, I don't even know. I do well with this guy. I don't even know how to play him. Uh, so yeah, great god. Really good god. Probably needs to be nerfed. Uh, S plus. You could definitely argue S plus very heavily. I'm gonna stick him in S for right now because people aren't very good at him. Scotty, A tier, kind of an average hunter. Almost want to stick her in A plus because I know a lot of people are not good at playing in Scotty. She has good clear. Her skate's really annoying. Calder's really annoying. Her ultimate's really annoying. So a lot of people don't play against Scotty very well. They tend to just die. People don't kill Calder. He takes ability. By the way, he takes ability damage now. Ability damage applies to him, which means if you hit him with a tick ability, he's gonna die really fast. You don't have to auto him. Feels like I should just remind people that. Um, so you can kill Calder. They gave her a buff. She works well in mid. Scotty mid is a lot of fun. People, because you get the free damage with Calder, you can just throw Calder on him. She works well in the ADC role as well against mages. Works well against hunters. Good clear, but Scotty is still extremely easy to kill. She doesn't have CC immunity kit. She gets a little movement speed from her when she puts her skate down. That's about it. Very easy to kill. Doesn't have a good team fight presence. Uh, Probably just going to farm a lot of really bad players. So I'm gonna stick her an A. You could argue A plus for sure. Sobek A tier. You could argue A plus with him as well. Low pressure solo lane. you just kind of sit under the tower with your Sobek, do a little bit of poke. He's very annoying. He's very annoying to lane against. Um, Gets to the late game and he's got anti heal. He's hard to kill. He's got the pluck. He's got the tail whip. He's got an ult that hits very hard when you build hybrid. Um, as far as support goes, he's not a very good support, unfortunately. Doesn't do well with, is not crazy at invades, can be annoying. You're really seeing him in the solo lane, kind of low pressure. Doesn't care about a lot of his matchups because he's losing the lane anyways. Um, so you'll say you could argue A plus. I like Sobek Solo a lot. The solo back, keep him an A. Soul. I'm gonna throw her up there in A plus. Uh, ADC mages are good. Mages are being played in the duo lane, so having an ADC mage over there is good. Double hunter. Um, have your Apollo, you're on her in mid. Have your solo over there in the duo lane. She's not as good as Oleron. Oleron's a much better ADC mage. But Soul is still a good god. Good clear, hard to kill, a lot of sustain, good ultimate. Very hard to kill, especially for bad players because they don't know how like three works correctly, and then she has a lot of sustain. The one sustain build Bancrofts, very hard to kill, very annoying god. Can be played in mid as well. I like Soul a lot. Does a lot of damage, burns towers. Feels like she's a lot better than a lot of mages in the game, a lot better than a lot of hunters in the game as well. Sun Wukong, slap him in A tier. Safe, the premier kind of safe solo laner. Very hard to kill a Sun Wukong. He clears lane very fast. Has a knock up on his dash. Has a slow immunity on his dash in the bird form. Can ult, CC immune, heals himself, jumps down. You can like bird, like you can like bull form to clear wave, get ganked, ult, get out. Um, can be, and because of that can be very hard to kill late game. Because good knock up, going through people's slow immunity, ult, do what you need to do. Like I say, clears Wayne pretty easy. Got a nice buff to his two. Um, Still does a decent amount of damage. The tiger form hurts a lot. He's fun to play in the jungle. Don't think he's too good in the jungle, but it can be fun to play in the jungle. I think he can be a little slept on. Sun Wukong does a lot of damage. Clears the Wayne. Clears the Wayne. Bruce Wayne clears the lane very well. But you're not out sustaining King Arthur. You're not playing well into Yorm. Uh, uh, if you're playing against a more passive god, they don't care who you're going to play, so you're not doing extremely well in those matchups. Fun god to play, safe god to play. Kind of underrated, I think. Susano, we're gonna throw him an A plus. Kind of want to put him in S, but we're gonna say A plus for now. I do not think he's S tier worthy. Um, Really good jungler. Uh, doesn't play well into the invade meta, kind of like Hunbot. Um, but once again, this god hits extremely hard. Uh, mid to late game, he starts to really just spread through people. Hydras, Crusher, the new Heart Seeker does a lot of damage on Suzanne. You get to that late game, you're doing a lot of burst potential. You're seeing people even start to try to play him in other lanes, man. He carries mids. Hey, doesn't have the grace clear, has a very poor early game. Kind of like I said, doesn't work well against the invades. Very good at killing mages, though. And low level play, players like to really complain about Susano because they suck. They're going to let Susano kill them, and their team's not going to kill the Susano. It's unfortunate. It's just how the game is. Like I said, poor early game, doesn't work well against invades, but very, 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 very strong late game. Some people are saying he might get some nerfs. Strong guy can carry some games for sure out of that solo, the jungle, not solo lane. Solo Susano was fun as well. Sylvanas A tier. We can call Sylvanas the knockoff Geb, and I kind of understand why. He kind of does a lot of the same thing as Geb. Big AoE team fight ultimate. Has a heal. Has the he can kind of peel a little bit. Good CC. Sylvanas is not a good clear as well, but once again, that's in lane. You're not going to see Sylvanas in lane a lot. or your support's in lane a lot. That's not what especially higher level. That support's not gonna be in lane a lot. Lower levels, yeah, your support's probably gonna be in lane with you. So your Sylvanas is gonna be there. But that high clear doesn't mean anything for the invade meta a lot. Uh, he's extremely easy to kill. Unfortunately, sometimes his passive gives him the roots, so it's hard to melee him. But still can be pretty easy to kill. Doesn't have the movement speed to keep up. Next up is Terra.
Actually, I have one question about Sylvanas. I know it's a meme, but
Yeah,
is it actually viable to run Hunter's Blessing on him?
I tell you what, you play Sylvanas solo and you buy Hunter's Blessing, and you're doing 50 damage to the totem at level 1 with an auto attack while sitting in wave getting XP. There's nothing like it. I'm just gonna say that right now. You're auto attacking the back, like the front minions, while the enemy solo laner is clearing them, and you're auto clearing those, and you're doing a shit ton of damage to them. Fun to play in solo. But Guardian's Blessing is just too valuable. It's one of the best blessings in the game. Gives you a lot of protections. Gives you free gold. Uh, so there's no reason not to run that. It's kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you and your friend are playing like, Izanami, you play some Hunter's Blessings, Sylvanas, she'll clear wave literally instantly. Um,
We should try that.
uh, ooh, that'd be a lot of fun. There's a strat you can actually just proxy the wave. Just group them with Sylvanas, proxy the wave with Izanami. Terra, A plus. Terra Solo is dangerous. This is a deadly late game Guardian. Buy Soul Reaver, buy E Staff, shit like that. It procs on her ultimate, and you're probably gonna die. You get half hit by her ult damage alone, not to mention whatever else you're getting hit by to proc the ult damage. Blink ult, crazy, one of the best team fight ults in the games, if not the best. Because there's nothing you can do about it. It's hard to Aegis against. Um, it's not a CC, so you can't beat it. So you just get blinked on, and like, oh my god, it's basically like a timer. It's like I'm gonna get fucking blown up and die. you know, uh, if you got hit with any ability, so it's hard to play against. But seeing the fact you're playing her a lot in solo lane, she doesn't have good clear. She has decent clear. She has better clear than uh, a lot of guardians that you could put in there, a lot of guys you could put in there. You dash through the walls, you dash through her column. It does a lot of damage, can clear the lane, but has good sustain, knock up immunities, which means it's a lot harder for Tyr to play into her, Yorm to play into her. She can be immune to their knockups. But you're playing for the late game. She can freeze the wave as well, hold the wave for to make it easier to get her blue buff farm while she gets her lane farm. Very crucial technique. If you know how to play Terra, Terra will do extremely well in casual matches. Um, has a bit of a SPL present. I know people have been trying to play some Terra jungle. Doesn't she's good in support as well. I mean, obviously, she works well in support. The invade meta, Terra can throw up her walls, and it becomes very hard for that jungle to be able to clear because you keep those walls up for a long time. Throw up those walls, you can stun him, you can do a lot of damage to that buff, you can auto it however you need to do. So she works well in the invade meta as well. Definitely an A plus god. But you're not seeing her a whole lot. Like I said, solo lane, she's not aggressive. You're playing for that late game. Next up is Danny Toes. We'll stick him in A. Aggressive, snowbally assassin. Uh, does well against bad players because he just does a lot of damage, and they don't know how to get away from him. And when they try to get away from him, he kills them with an execute. Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty average god. Has good clear early game, falls off hard late game, counters Kepri. Counters Kepri, counters Geb, counters a lot of gods like that. Um, okay, assassin. The Morgan. Uh, we're gonna say A plus. Um, pretty sure we can once said if you know how to play Morgan player. Very strong god, good clear. Uh, can be hard to kill because of the stealth with the decoy. And her ultimate, I mean, her ultimate is just crazy. Being able to changing anybody. If you suck, if your team's getting railed, you can hold to the god that's railing you, and maybe turn a fight or two. If you're good at Morgan player, there's no downside. The only downside to playing Morgan is when you can't play her because she's removed from the game. You know,
Or if Kali's gone.
yeah. If you can play Morgan both physically and skillfully, then play her. Good God, for sure. Works well in the dual lane. One of the better dual lane mages because of how well she clears. Um, Thor. Yeah, Morgan too. S tier, probably the best jungler in the game. Good early game, good mid game, good enough late game. Great semi global ultimate, does a lot of damage. Um, but you can build him a little tanky. He'll still do a lot of damage. Can be played in solo lane as a pretty good solo lane guy. Has decent clear, does a lot of damage while tanky. Yeah, very good jungler. Just that ultimate, that damage, that early to mid game damage is insane. If you're really good at Thor, one of my favorite gods to play. If you're really good at Thor, play him. Thoth, S tier, one of the better mid mages in the game. Both over in the duo lane, both in mid, extremely safe, has a lot of range, can clear from a distance, has the dash that has a root on it, has a strong ult for both securing objectives or stealing objectives, long range ult. Like I said, a lot of range. They buffed the shit out of his one for some reason. I don't know why they made it really stupidly strong. Like I said, a lot of range. All of his abilities go through walls, very safe. Very annoying mates to deal with. His early game is a lot weaker than like Isis and Merlin, so that can be a bit of a struggle. But it doesn't matter when you're very hard to kill and you're just killing everything else from really far away. Very little downsides of thought. Kind of hard to play. Won't carry a lot of your lower end games. Um, Next guy, what is that
Yeah.
tier? That is we're gonna say A plus. We don't know a lot about Tyr because he just got a major buff. His blue stance dash now has a knock up as well. Um, so we don't know a lot about him. That I don't even think this patch is. Pretty sure the patch is not live in the SPL yet, so we don't know how he's going to see the impact. But I've heard the general consensus. A lot of pros are saying a lot of pros don't like it. I think it was. I don't remember who it was. Might have been Zalia. I think it was Zalia. Zalia said that they should either remove the knock off of the dash, revert it, or remove his healing off of his blue stance. Um, so that was an opinion straight from one of the best solo laners in the game. If I remember if it was Zalia, I'm not sure. So we don't know the total impact. I imagine it's going to make Tier good. He could very well be an SS plus god. I can definitely see that. He has good clear. He has healing. He has the juggle. It's always been a thing. You blink juggle, it can really turn the team fight around. Well, guess what? Now I can blink juggle and then dash you again. He can knock up you once to force your bees and knock you up again. So he has two dashes. Now he has an ultimate. The ultimate has CC immunity. It's elite. Like I said, the sustain. His passive is really underrated. Um, Good God. He was pretty. He was a pretty average, maybe a slightly above average solo laner before. Now he's really stupid. Um, Oler, I'm gonna say A tier. Uh, Mid hunters, they're a thing, and Oler's a pretty good one. So I could definitely say he might deserve that A plus tier a little bit. Um, he's pretty good. He works well with Felnot. Um, because of the way it works with his passive. I mean, his ultimate being a stance change is very easy for him to get it off. He doesn't have to waste his ultimate. Means you will accidentally use it sometimes, unfortunately. Um, but pretty has pretty good clear, has good pressure, good boxing potential, can work well in the ADC lane as well. I just don't think he's better than Apollo or Honor, unfortunately. Still a good god, still he'll really good Urs can do carry very easily in lower ranked games. Bit of a harder god to play for sure as well, but I like him at A. You can argue A plus for sure. Lamana, average safe solo laner. You get ganked. Oh, really hard to kill. Has okay clear, has has three damaging abilities. Gets free power from his passive as well, so can do a lot of damage. Can be hard to play. Can dive really easily. Can be very hard to kill. Fortunately, he is cucked by anti heal very hard. Um, but has good CC, has good damage. Can be very annoying to play against. A lot of people run like a lot of troll builds kind of with them, and they do very well. But listen, I think he's a pretty average, safe solo laner. Good at the beginning of the season. They got some kind of knocked him down a little bit. Vulcan A tier, average mage. Gets some good pressure in mid because of being able to place the turret at speed buff. Kind of allows you to play up in mid a little bit. And the duo lane doesn't have the best early clear. Gets very easily out pressured by any hunters over there or mages over there. Um, so a little unfortunate. Does a lot of damage. Can be hard to kill because of his passive, giving him that movement speed. If you're really good at hitting Vulcan ults, you can turn fights around very easily. Um, Pretty average mage, nothing too fancy to write home about there. Uh, Shibelonque, we're gonna say A tier. Might want to put it up to A plus. The ultimate nerf was pretty tough. But it's still a decent ultimate. I mean, it's a blind. You can't see. So it can still very much affect team fights. It also gives him a lot of self buffs. People tend to forget about that. With that being said, his clear isn't amazing. So you're not pressuring out your Anhurs and your Apollos and stuff, or any of your mages. Really, you're playing more for that late game, and he does a lot of damage late game. I mean, the passive, it's a lot of free power. Build fail not, you're critting for like 700 easy. Pretty safe as well. It has CC immunity elite, as well as the ultimate. They did buff his two just recently, which was a nice little buff. Increased that slow on it a little bit, so he gets a little bit more CC. But the nerfs did hurt him. You could argue A plus. Really good Jubilantes can carry lower level games, for sure. Jing 10, I don't know. They took him out of the game. They tried to buff him. Still kind of sucks. B plus. Situational. Can't really even think of situational use him. He works against auto attack gods with his one. In the solo lane, he had okay clear. Um, Not really anything. Has really annoying CC with the knock up root. His three still costs way too much fucking mana. He has a lot of sustain with his passive. His ultimate's garbage. Uh, it has this massive windup for absolutely no reason. You can walk out of it with a lot of gods. You can leap out of it, dash out of it, CC
Excuse
immune it
me, I
easily.
saw a
Terrible
Jing 10
ultimate.
get a pentakill in a
Get
corrupted arena. So,
Well, he's SS in Corrupted Arena when people don't buy beads and they all rush the
okay.
Sunder thing.
All right.
Cruel
Just
wind.
wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, you play him in solo lane, you throw the garbage, Anubis solo under the tower and kill him.
Because he can't move, yeah.
uh, yeah, 'cause he can't move. He forgets his old CC immune. He bought meditation first item. He bought
Yeah.
Sunder first item. Um, and the support, it doesn't invade extremely well. Like I said, he doesn't do a lot of damage. Kind of annoying. His ultimate kind of sucks. Average god, like I said, he kind of works well into auto attack gods because of his one. You can get that one onto the mid hunter, ADC mage, or random Apollo or something. I mean, random Mercury or something. Or if you're in lane against like, I'm pretty sure he might like work really well against like Set, for example. But average god kind of just meh. Amir B plus as well. Can't really think of a reason to play Amir actually, so he might just be B. But we'll stick him in B plus because Amir is always fun. Amir is here, we all agree. Um, Kind of aggressive in the support role. You can kind of mess around in that the jungle, yeah, 3v3 stuff like that. In the solo lane, Good clear, surprisingly good clear. The two hits really nice, but he has no built-in sustain. You're not, like I said, kind of same thing with a lot of gods. King Arthur doesn't care what you're going to do to him because he's going to heal it off. Yorm doesn't care what you're going to do because you're not going to kill him. Set's fucking stupid late game. Ama's stupid late game. Gods like that, they just don't care about you, unfortunately. But Amir's always fun. Can do a lot of damage. You get a good lead on Amir. Jungle Amir is pretty cool. Get a good lead on Amir. He does a lot of damage and can be very tanky as well. Blink freezes, ult hits very hard, kind of like Sobex. Um, but nah, below average, not even average, man. He's immobile, very easy to kill. You're probably going to wind up walling yourself or a teammate off and killing them at some point. So
It's happened
it's
plenty of
probably not
times.
best you play him. Happened plenty of times for sure. Zeus, A tier. We'll stick him in A. We'll stick him in A. Kind of want to put him in B plus, but we'll stick him in A. We'll keep him in A. Zeus, mobile god, extremely immobile, can be very easy to kill because of that. But Zeus doesn't have bad clear. Zeus doesn't have bad damage. Zeus is very annoying. People don't know how to play around Zeus. They like to stand in front of his chain lightning so he can hit everybody with it, kill him. But in low levels, he's really good because also people just stand in the wave and let him auto attack him with the shield like idiots. They did nerf him to where now you can Aegis his three. Um, his ultimate's pretty good if you have something to combo it with, like an Odin or a Sylvanas or a Geb, something like that. An Ares, you can combo the ult very well, but you're still extremely immobile. His damage is a little weird. You know what I mean? It's not exactly a normal kind of damaging abilities. Unfortunately, doesn't even they can't even really peel for himself all that well. He can ult himself, and that's about it. Jean Kui, the Demon Queller. We'll stick him in A plus. He got a nerf. They nerfed the amount of protections he gets, as well as the amount of stacks it takes you to get full protection. So he's a little bit squishier. But people low level people don't know how to play into him. Jean Kui just farms people all the time because they just don't know how to deal. Solo lane support, mid, whatever, jungle, fucking play him anywhere. And casuals, you'll probably kill everybody and win. With that being said, though, in a much more kind of competitive atmosphere, Jean Kui is still very good. He has good clear, good damage, has sustain, has a really good ultimate, can be very hard to kill while also doing a lot of damage. He's pretty good in ADC role, pretty good mid, pretty good solo. Yeah, not a bad god. Like I said, he can be easy to kill. Has no movement, can be countered with anti heal. Um, you know, if you're dealing with a lot of really mobile gods, then ultimate is not as useful. Um, Still a good guy though, still a strong pick. You can still play, especially in casual, still play Sean Quinn and get away with it. Um, so that's the last god. Yamoja, can't forget about her. I played Yamoja a little bit, heard some opinions on him. Yamoja, kind of sucks. Um, she's kind of made to be like this pure support guardian, and kind of does good in lane. You're not playing a lot in lane. Um, just weird. She has a weird kit. Her Omi thing is sucks really. She's supposed to be able to kind of spam abilities, and you can't properly spam them because they all cost way too much fucking mana or Omi, and she doesn't regen it fast enough. Her combat heal is really neat. Her thing with the shield is pretty cool. Um, that's about it. You'll probably kill teammates with the three more than you'll help them. You'll probably also not use her ult good. Um, People try to play her in mid. She's not a mage. Stop. She doesn't have good scaling. Try to play her in solo, and even then, she does not going to do anything late game. So she just struggles to find a place. I'd say B, maybe B plus at best for Yamoja. I don't see her being anywhere
I'm gonna
else,
insert a
unfortunately.
fake Yamoja, and then this is me clicking and dragging it to B. Boom. There we go.
All right. Easy, easy, easy. Um. Anyways, that's it. That's my tier list. Like I said, it's mostly my opinion, but it's my educated opinion. You know what I mean? Uh, like I said, I've discussed some of where the gods can move around. Like I said, gods can easily shift the tier two down. You can make very good arguments for them. Um, but this is more or less how it is at all three levels of conquest. Your casual, taking that into consideration, your ranked, your SPL. Um, Watching this video and you like it, subscribe, like it, subscribe, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what I did wrong. Please tell me that Freya deserves to be SS tier because your retarded ass gets farmed by her all the time. Um, Tell me Amaterasu sucks because you don't know
Also,
how
if
to
you
play
plan to
her.
argue that Loki does not belong
Um,
in the Loki tab, don't even comment
and the
it.
Loki tier, yeah. Don't argue. Yeah, please don't even try to copy that. Uh, I don't care if you're. I'm pretty sure. I've noticed a lot of Loki mains admit Loki sucks. Right? Like, yeah, we know he sucks, but we like to play him. So, uh, anyways, so yeah. Hopefully, I should get this up. Hopefully, I get this up before the meta shifts too much. Before next patch. Should definitely get it up by then. But definitely, thank you guys for checking me out. First
Donate to
YouTube
Patreon.
video.
Give me money.
I mean, donate to my Patreon. Asshole picks are my
Yeah,
top
first tier is
donators.
selfie, second tier is feet pics, and then last tier is asshole.
For
So you got to work your way up.
definite. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fourth tier is Apollo
Fifth will be
cosplay.
mod in my server.
Yeah, fifth just to get mod.